economy could see yet another major shakeup as the United Auto Workers Union prepares for a potential strike. On Wednesday, the union sent Ford, one of the three automakers in this fight, a counteroffer contract, while Chrysler's parent company is expected to respond to the union with its own offer in the coming days. But the clock is ticking as the union's contract expires in just 1 week. And the president of United Auto Workers Union says that if a tentative deal is not reached by the September 14th, when the contract expires, workers will head to the picket line. Merrick Masters, a business professor at Wayne State University who is well versed in the logistics of strikes, joins us now to talk about this further. Thank you so much for your time this morning. So the workers here, they're demanding a pretty big pay raise, 46%. They want a 4-day work week, but the auto companies are not happy about that. Do you see them breaking this impasse?
I think there's a chance of a breakthrough, although it's remote. It's going to be difficult for the parties to cover the territory that they need to cover to reach an agreement by September the 14th.
Talk about the economic impact of a potential strike here, because whether it's GM, Ford, Stellantis, a work stoppage could have an economic loss of over $5 billion, according to the Anderson Economic Group. And cars for everyday people could end up costing more. This could be a pretty big deal.
Yes, it is. And that's a 10-day strike. To put it in perspective, in 2019, there was a 42-day strike against GM. So you can look at a multiple of that $5 billion or $6 billion figure and assume that you're going to have well into the double-digit billion dollars losses, mainly on the side of the company, but the workers will also suffer major losses due to the shrinking income that they have.
And the United Auto Workers, they say they're worried about the EV transition, which President Biden is fully in support of. They say, citing things like job loss and lower pay because of that transition. Do they have a legitimate argument?
They do. They are concerned about two things. One, it takes fewer workers to produce EV vehicles than it does internal combustion engine. And number two, most of the EV production is done by non-union employers, including joint ventures between the Detroit Three and foreign-based companies. And so this is a cause of particular consternation on the part of the union.
So earlier this week, President Biden said he's not worried about a potential strike. He says it's likely that there's not going to be one. What message does that send not only to the union workers, but to the automakers as well?
I think he's trying to calm the parties. I wouldn't read too much into that. He obviously doesn't want there to be a strike, but the parties have their own dynamics, and really they're not much influenced by presidential rhetoric at this point in time. There could be a point in time in the future in which presidential intervention had a more significant impact.
So whether it's the auto workers, or the actors and writers strike that we've seen recently, UPS workers nearly went on strike until they avoided one and went on a deal. There's a potential strike involving the airline industry. What is it about this moment? Why are workers, union workers, why are they feeling so emboldened right now?
Frustration over lack of wage increases over a long period of time. Over the past 40 years, the top 1% have seen their real wages adjusted for inflation grow by over 200%. The bottom 90% have seen their real wages grow by only 28%. That's the reason why there's this push for higher wages. And I think it resonates across the board. Across these industries that you mentioned, it's interesting, the workers have varying degrees of power, and I would say they clearly have the least amount of power among the writers and the screen actors.
Interesting. Merrick Masters, business professor at Wayne State University. Thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.